Hey there, I'm Team Behavior Expert Josh Shipp. Let's have a conversation about what to do if you are concerned that your kid might be depressed. Now, most of us as parents aren't sure exactly how to respond in this particular situation. There's lots of information out there about depression. Sometimes it can seem confusing, and the more you sort of read and search the internet and this and that, the more sort of confused you can get. So I'm here to help you out. I'm going to walk you through sort of different scenarios and exactly what you can do. Now, ultimately, something that's very important to understand is this. Depression is an incredibly nuanced issue. So first and foremost, I would urge you to please beware of anyone or any source who says that depression is just an easy issue. You know, it might be easy to diagnose by its outward symptoms, but the causes, the root causes of depression are not so simple. So beware of anyone who tells you that it's an easy, isolatable issue, because frankly, that is just not the case. There are multiple reasons for why a teen could be going through depression. Number one, it could be chemical. The depression could be chemical. You know, your teen has double the amount of hormones raging through his or her body right now. It's very well possible that their brain does not make enough of a certain chemical. You know, just like diabetics don't make and produce enough insulin for their body, your teen might be in a situation where there's a chemical reason for the depression. Secondly, it could be a social issue. Depression can be caused by social issues as well. Think about going through junior high and high school. That is just a time in your life filled with tons of social situations that are stressful and dramatic and really, really difficult to navigate, and particularly when you're 14, 15, 17, a really bad day can seem really like the end of your world. You know, your teen could be depressed because of perceived rejection by peers or some sort of difficult social circumstance that they run into in middle school or high school. Third, it could be emotional. Depression can be emotional. Your teen's emotions tend to run out of control because, and this is no fault of their own, they lack the ability to put life into proper perspective. So they're sort of dealing with these grown-up issues, but they've only had 15 years on the planet, so they sort of lack that perspective that maybe you or I would have. You know, things seem like the end of the world when really they're not. Again, do you kind of remember, you know, that thing that happened to you when you were a kid and you just thought your whole world was crashing down and everyone was laughing at you and mocking you and knew about the thing and this and that, when really kind of a couple days go by and people have moved on to something else. Fourth, it could be a moral issue. See, depression can be caused by moral issues, meaning if your teen is secretly doing something he or she knows is wrong, they will inevitably feel guilt for that. You know, we all have a conscience, and violating it causes a sense of sort of disintegration. You know, I'm not the person that I want to be, but I'm doing this thing that doesn't line up with who I want to be, and that can cause, you know, a bit of a depression, that sort of disintegration of who I claim I want to be and who I think I could be, but the choices that I'm making and kind of who that paints me as. So those are some of the reasons, but ultimately the point is this. The reasons for depression are various. It could be any one of those things. It could be a combination of two or more of those things. It could be something I didn't even mention. It's important to understand this is a nuanced and complex issue. Now, I say this because you, as a parent, are going to have to do the hard work of figuring out exactly what's at the bottom of this. You know, as much as I wish I could, you know, I wish I could give you sort of a easy formula, like, you know, just add up this and subtract this, and this will reveal the, you know, the situation, and then you can just easily fix it. You know, I wish I could give you some formula or diagnostic, but the fact of the matter is that your kid is an incredibly complex person, just like we all are, and likely the cause of his or her depression is incredibly complex as well. In many cases, the loving, unconditional support of a parent, of a caring adult who listens, who doesn't judge, who cares, who offers counsel where appropriate, sometimes that is enough. But sometimes it's not enough. Sometimes there are situations where more is required. And if you find yourself in that situation, your teen is descending into that depression and it lasts for extended periods of time, it is time for you to seek professional help. Now, I want to be clear about this. There is no shame in seeking professional help. There is no shame in a parent, getting help to try to figure out something that is complex and nuanced. Please don't let that shame or that guilt or what will other people think or this and that stop you from getting the help that you and your kid need. Look, I have admittedly done hundreds of hours of counseling. I've gone for years, and most people on the planet should get counseling. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's something that just flat out helps. So don't be afraid to ask for help from a professional, local mental health professional who can, kind of dig into the nuances and the complexities of you and your kid's particular situation. And as a parent, the good news is there is no professional training needed to care, to listen, to be there for them, and to be on their side. I wish you the best.